afternoon, everyone, especially to our beloved instructor, Miss Dichi Graceflor Babaylan. Today, we're going to talk about the first cry of Philippines Revolution. We're going to answer questions on where it happened exactly. When did it take place? It's either Pugadlawin or Balintawak. And also, we're going to have to consult many historians in the Philippines. This will be a formal debate between the controversy of the cry of Pugadlawin versus Balintawak. For those who are not aware, it is the beginning of the Philippines Revolution against the Spanish Empire. Now we are here to discuss on where the event occurred between Pugadlawin or Balintawak. We divided into two groups, the opposition group and the preposition group. The first presenter in Pugadlawin, which is the opposition group, we have Miss Magatinis, Miss Trillo, and yours truly. On the other hand, in Balintawak, which is the preposition group, we have Mr. Laurente, Miss Villaroso, and Mr. Pacodan. To start our debate, the group of Balintawak will begin first. After the first group, we have the group of Pugadlawin defending their side. The cry of Pugadlawin happened on August 23, 1896. At Pugadlawin, due to the credibility of the source of its consistency with the other sources. Nevertheless, other historians argue of his statement otherwise. Based from the claims formed support by the corresponding evidence, it has been concluded that the other cry of Pugadlawin happened on August 23, 1896. Since such nation conceived with the disputable and hospitable artifact presented, the testimony of Hugh Valenzuela may have been inconsistent at the first, but this will be because he under juries during his trials under the Spanish court. His testimony and statement along with the other Kikilki, Bitargans, Pantans, and Pacheco is enough to authenticate and verify the mentioned issue in the Philippines history. In fact, Teodoro Agoncillo account became the basis of the current stature of the Philippines government. In 1963, President Diosdado Macapagal ordered the official commemoration shifted to Pugad ng Uwak. Furthermore, the cry of Pugadlawin raised by the Katipuneros against the Trinarios Spanish rule in the Philippines in 1896 showcased not just the bravery and courage of the Filipino people, but also to their freedom, love, peace, and nature.
Andres Bonifacio, sensing that he would lose in the discussion there, left the session hall and talked to the people, who were waiting outside for the meeting of the leaders. He told the people that the leaders were arguing against starting the revolution early, and appealed to them in a fairy speech, which he said, "Remember the fate of our countrymen who were shot in Bagong Bayan. Should we return now to the towns? The Spaniards will only shoot us. Our operation has been discovered and we are all marked men. If we don't start the uprising, the Spaniards will get us anyway." Andres Bonifacio then asked the people to give a pledge that they were to revolt. He told them that the sign of slavery of the people, which is Filipinos, were the cedulous tax charged with its citizens. If it is true that you are ready to revolt, Bonifacio said, I want to see to destroy your cedulous. It will be the sign that all of us have declared our severance from the Spaniards. With tears in their eyes, the people as one man pulled out their cedulas and tore them into pieces. It was the beginning of the formal declaration of the separation from the Spaniards' rule. With their cedulas destroyed, they could no longer back to their home because the Spaniards would persecute them. If not for being katipuneros, for having no cedulas, and people who had no cedulas during those days will persecute severely.
So, the first place of refuge of Andres Bonifacio, Emilio Jacinto, Procopio Bonifacio, Teodoro Plata, and Aguido del Rosario is in Balintawak. The first five arriving here on August 19, 1986. Here, views were only exchanged and no resolution was adopted or debated. Where over 1,000 members of the Katipunan met and carried out considerable debate and discussion on August 23, 1986. The discussion was on whether or not the revolution against the Spanish government should be started on August 29, 1986. Besides, the person named above, among those present at this meeting were Enrique Cipriano, Alfonso Pacheco, Tomas Remedio, Sinforoso San Pedro, and others. After that tumultuous meeting, many of those present tore their cedula and certificates.
When the People's Pledge was obtained by Bonifacio, he was returned to the session hall and informed the leaders who took place outside. The people once revolted that they had destroyed cedulas. The board of directors, in spite of the protests of Plata, Panta, and Valenzuela, they voted of the revolution. At about 5 o'clock afternoon, while the gathering of Balintawak was celebrating the decision of the Katipunan leaders to start the uprising, the guards were up trees to watch for any possible intruders or the approach of enemy. Gave the warning that the Spaniards were coming. Led by Bonifacio, Emilio, Jacinto, and other leaders of the Katipunan, the men were distributed in strategic positions and were prepared for attack of the civil guards. I was with the group stationed on the bank of the small creek, guarding the places where the Spaniards were to pass in order to reach the meeting place of the Katipuneros. Shots were being fired by the civil guards, and that was the beginning of the fire, which later became such a huge conflagration.
So to support our side, we strongly believe that the first fire or the first revolution was happened in Pugadlawin, not in Balintawak, because it is being supported by one of the Katipunan members named Pio Valenzuela, also known as the primary source, and he is one of the closest to Andres Bonifacio. They said that the first fire revolution did not happen in Balintawak, where the monument is, but the place where the monument is located is called the Pugadlawin, in which we believe that the first fire or the first revolution was not happened in Balintawak, but it is happened in Pugadlawin. And Pugadlawin is also located at Bahay Toro in Quezon City, and this place is lead of Andres Bonifacio believed that the first fire was happened in Pugadlawin and not in Balintawak.
I strongly disagree to that argument because according to Guillermo Masangkay, the first rally of the Philippine Revolution happened on August 26, 1896 at Balintawak. The site and date presented were accepted by the preliminary years of American government. Guillermo Masangkay is an eyewitness of the historic event. He is also a childhood friend of Bonifacio. On August 26, 1896, a big meeting was held in Balintawak at the house of Apolonio Samson, the cabeza of that barrio of Caloocan.
So once again, good afternoon. For the information of everybody, according to our research, it doesn't matter where the first fire or the first revolution happened. But the important thing there is what is the contribution they have during that time. Thank you.